one of the most important things, um, whether you are a business, whether that um, you're a not-for-profit, not whether you are somebody that stays at home, watches your kids, whether you're an academic, is just being okay with yourself and knowing that the life stuff is so important to getting through and being a decent person. Um, Learning how to sort of not judge yourself, it is so important to everything that you do. It's one thing that I'm coming to terms with is being more sympathetic, empathetic to myself, and knowing that I only have as much as I possibly have available to me at this time, and there's nothing else that I can do about it. So I want to talk about that today because I think it's important. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor Dave Massock. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward to help you out. One of the more challenging things that we deal with is knowing that what you have available, there's two things. Knowing that what you have available right now is limited. You only can do a certain amount given your circumstance. And then the second thing is knowing that what you have available at this moment is largely up to you in terms of what you did in the past. And coming to terms with those two things are often really difficult. For me, I always want to be able to do more, to make a bigger impression, to change things more, to add more positivity, to add more thoughtfulness so that people can start addressing some of the things that they have, or dealing with that and being open and letting you know that it's okay to be open. But then the other thing that I see is, man, people screw things up royally too, and they don't admit it. And they don't want to say, you know what, hey, I got a lot of crap going on and I don't want to address it. And, 9 times out of 10, the reason that where you are right now is because of the stuff that you haven't addressed. I'm not trying to, I don't like that sort of idea that you're independent and everything is your responsibility, because it's not. A lot of life circumstances depend on other people, depend on what resources you're given, depend on all sorts of things, your talents, your expectations, what happened to you in the past. There's so many different things that depend on many other things. But the only thing that you can really change, sorry about that, I was interrupted with a phone call. I use my iPhone to do these podcasts, and I'm going for a walk right now. Where I was getting at is there's a lot of things that are outside of your control and that you can't do. But you can make a lot of difference in terms of what happens to you if you have a drinking problem, you have a drug problem, you have an eating problem. All of those things are made up in your mind. Um, and all of those things are totally up to you in terms of you turning it around and you taking control of those things. It's really hard to do that kind of stuff of coming around and, kind of having that coming to Jesus moment where you come around and start thinking, shit, what am I doing with my life? And I think you need to have those. If you're in a bad situation and somebody's treating you poorly, you need to really think about that in terms of what you should do going forward and really make that positive change, taking that step and changing your life and not relying on them and putting your foot down and just saying, I ain't taking this anymore. When you come to that moment where you're doing that, we simply just say, no, I'm going to live a good life and I'm going to start caring about other people. I'm going to start respecting myself. A heck of a lot happens in who you are. And I've had several of those moments, not a lot, but I've had several of those moments in my life. I remember one in high school. I was feeling really down. I really didn't have a lot of friends in high school. It was a pretty craptacular time for me, probably a lot of people. And I just decided one day I was going to turn my life around and really apply myself. I wasn't going to put up with that crap. And I did. And I worked really hard and got into university, and then in graduate school, I was having another moment where I was feeling really down about myself. Not in a great situation. I don't want to get into a lot of it, but a lot of interpersonal stuff. And it wasn't good. It wasn't a good situation. And then I put my foot down and I said I wasn't going to take it. And I remember the day that I decided to smile. And that changed a lot in who I was. Because I realized there's not much that you can do to change them. It's everything about you. I guess what I'm trying to get at is stop being an asshole to yourself and to other people. And start respecting yourself and other people. And know that it really starts with you, with what is going on in your life. And nobody can fix you. Absolutely nobody can. The only person that can fix you is yourself. And it's really cool to see people go through that transition where they do start thinking about themselves and doing positive things. And you see that all the time where they lose a bunch of weight or start getting empowered or whatever you're thinking, whatever happens. But it's really, really cool to see that because you know that they completely changed how they think. And I think that everybody can do that. You just have to be willing to do it. And you have to be willing to put down that bottle. You have to be willing to stop taking those drugs. You have to be willing to start respecting yourself. You have to be willing to start being nice to other people, willing to do things that are a little inconvenient for you, but can have a huge impact on society. You know, all of those little things, they add up and they really change who you are. But it really starts with you. It really starts with you standing up for something that is good, getting your head straight, and just starting to just one day deciding that I'm going to do this. And I'm going to be a good person. And I'm going to care for myself and for other people. I know that this is pretty fluffy. And I know that this is very fluffy stuff. And I would have, in my younger years, I would have made fun of all of this kind of crap because it's so fluffy. But there's something about it. There's something that does change. Something where you just get a lot of courage. And you completely change who you are when you do this. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It's like eureka moments. Nobody can really explain those very well. You can't explain this, but you just decide to do it. Once you just decide to do it, man, you start making all of those right things that are good and positive, and you stop being a screw up, start being a good parent, you start being good siblings, start being a good person. You know, it matters to do this kind of stuff. And I know that some of you might think this is willy-nilly and all that kind of stuff too, like I used to, and I still do a lot. But if this resonates with you and it makes a positive difference, it's pretty awesome. Anyways, that's all I want to say. Take care and have a wonderful day.